Welcome to Karma's a Stitch. I'm Tanya. This is a YouTube channel where I talk about my crafting projects and things that I've been getting into. The format of what I've been doing is I have a wall that has cubbies in it. My whips are on in those cubbies. I'm calling it my whip wall. And I roll the dice, and it's an app I have on my iPad. And whatever number comes up on the dice, that's the cubicle I go to, and I pull a whip out. When I pull the whip out, I work on that whip for 1 week. At the end of the week, I show the progress that I've made. I talk a little bit about the project, and then I put it back on the whip wall if I don't have it finished, and I roll the dice again to see what I'll be working on the next week. But if I finish a project before the week is up, then I get to roll the dice when I have an FO. And I have an FO. So today is Friday. It is about 10 after 11 on Friday night. I rolled the dice on Tuesday, and I pulled, when the dice rolled and I pulled the project bag out, it was my Kushalig. Now the Kushalig, it's a long rectangular wrap. It's one that I started on December 1st, and I was doing an Advent swap. And so I had no idea what the theme of it was, what the color scheme was going to be. And you put them in order as they were gifted to me. And I got it finished. When I rolled it on Tuesday and I pulled the project bag out, I just had 4 rows left of color 18. So I had to finish 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. So 7 more. Is that right? 18, 19, 20, 21, 6 colors and 2 rows. So anyway, and I finished it. I didn't hardly do any knitting on Wednesday because Wednesday was a super busy day for me. But I got it done. It's finished. And I was on Zoom this morning with some friends, and at the time there were 4 of us on, and 2 ladies while we were on Zoom finished hats. One lady worked really, really hard, but she didn't quite finish her sleeve. In her defense, she made sure we all knew it was a 20-inch sleeve. So she did not quite finish it, but she was so close. And when she has that sleeve done, she'll be done with a top that she needs to have done by next week. And now I have finished my Kushalig. So I'm gonna share it with you guys. I plan on weaving in some of the ends while I edit this video. Now, I did put these in the order that they were received. So there wasn't a fade. They're not all from the same dyer. The Advent swap was with a group of knitters that I Zoom with on a pretty regular basis. And it was a Secret Santa sort of swap. And the person that sent me my Advent was Nancy. She has a YouTube channel if you'd like to check her out. It's Kitty Scrapper over on YouTube. If you're watching this, you're already on YouTube. So here we go. I'm going to start at the bottom. So this here was color 1. Okay. And then we just worked our way up, and you can see you'd have to have color 2 in to add 3, and you'd have to have 3 on to add 4. So that's kind of how it was built all the way up. I did not use, I'll show you when we get there, but they were 20-gram minis of fingering weight yarn is what they were. There was one mini in here that I inadvertently, it was, I think, DK, and I'll show you when we get there. I was several rows short on that one, and so I just put in some black cascade to fill in the gap so I could continue on with the project. So I'm going to be quiet so you guys can see all the colors. And here comes the color with the black border. So with me, you can't go wrong with black in a project. It just is such a bold statement. But this pink stripe here, the wool was thicker, like it felt thicker. And I was very clearly about an inch short for that. Considering these other colors, I still have a pretty good nugget left of each of the minis with the exception of that one. So here's the black that I was referring to. That was not part of the Advent. And here comes the progress marker. That's where I was when I rolled the dice on Tuesday night. So I had to finish this stripe here. And then I did the brown and then this multicolor one. Now, when I got up to these final colors, these were done today. I woke up this morning and I did 1, 2, 3, 4 of the colors today. So this one right here, I'll put a video in of my hands, and this is another example of indie dyed yarn. And some of it, sometimes it's just really hard to get the dye out, and it's difficult to get the dye to set in the wool. Now I worked, there's probably 15 grams in here, and I'll include a video of what my hands look like when I was done using this. And I won't be able to finish the nugget that was left of that mini. And then there's the 2 corners. I used day 24, if you are familiar with the Kushlig pattern. Section 24 is over here, 25 is right here. And I just used day 24 color for both of the corners. So that's why these two are the same. I'm really excited. I'm gonna fold this up. I'm gonna take the progress keeper off. This was done on a US 4, and as you work through this project, it has you, as you're working, let's say on this strip right here, and you're adding onto it, you're attaching it here. So all of these stitches are kept on scrap yarn. I didn't do that. I just used 2 different needles, and so I would have these stitches sitting on a needle, and then I could pick up here and continue to knit this way and build on. So I did use 2 US 4, let me verify. I'm pretty sure they were US 4. I did use Chow-Goo, it is my go-to. Nope, it's I'm second guessing myself. It is a US 4. I had a US 3 in here because it wants you to pick up the stitches with the smaller needle. And that's not what I did. So this bag here has all of my extras. That's a big chunk because that was the first color, so I didn't use quite as much. So these will go into my scrappy blankets. I have 3 scrappy blankets right now on the go, and I'll make hexies or a granny square to add into whatever project I add them into. So again, this is the Kuschelig by Kristen Kimsey. It was a really fun pattern to work on. Now I'm going to fold it up a little bit so I can set it on the scale, because it is an FO, so I can add it to my yardage that I've crafted so far this year. Let's see if I can get it small enough to fit on my scale. All right, let's get it on the scale. So it looks like 364 grams. Make sure it's all on there. Looks like it is. So it looks like we're at 364. So I will come over to my iPad and we will go to the Excel spreadsheet, and I'm going to put 364 in this cell. And I hit enter, and I knit 1,456 yards in this project. Isn't that great? So then I can highlight that and make sure that it's blue, because it's an FO. And then I'll go over here and put today's date. And it is February 16 of 24. There we go. So my spreadsheet's updated. I've got the project done. And now we can roll the dice and see what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take one of the projects, or one of the cubbies that has 2 projects in it, and I'll put it in this cubby number 17, which is where I took the Kuschelig from. And then we'll roll the dice. Okay, so I need to fill up hole number 17. That's where I got the Kuschelig from. So I just moved one of the projects that was up above. I just moved it down to cubby number 17. And that way everybody is getting spread out. I'm getting some stuff finished. Now, if you haven't been here before, I have this project bag here, and I have that big blue square one here. And those are setting in front of the cubbies, because the dice that I have is a 20-sided dice, and there's only 18 cubbies. So if 19 gets rolled, then I'll use this one. And if 20 gets rolled, I'll do this one. And both of these are blankets that I'm working on. So let's see what we'll be working on this week. 8. Okay, so we've got cubbies 1 through 6, got 7 and 8. Now there's 2 projects in here, and it says 8-1. So I'll take the first project out of there. In this project bag, let's see what's in here. Oh, yes. Okay, so this is the excavation. No, it's not. It's the bluegrass shawl. This is a brioche scrappy. It's by Wool and Pine. It's a brioche wrap. This is gonna be so much fun. I'm so excited to work on this. This was one of my 12 cast-ons of Christmas. So I will be working on the bluegrass through next Friday night, unless I get it finished first, which I don't know that I will. The whole thing is brioche, and I'm pretty new to brioche. This is, and I will put a progress, oh, there's already one on here. This is my progress so far. And I did have a friend point out, it does look a little different front and back. So that's my progress so far. We'll see. And I think I only worked on that when I did the cast on. I think that's only a day's worth. How did I do that? Was it 2 days? I'm not sure. It wasn't long. So there's my bluegrass. There is fringe on one end. And I have a bag here full of scraps. So that's what I will be working on this week, you guys. And I may or may not work on it tonight to get reacquainted with the project, and then I can take off with it tomorrow. I may be back to share with you a little progress before I end this video. So we will see you in a bit. So I'm still sitting here on the floor looking through this, and I now remember what this was. This was my leftover, because I had done an Advent project with an Advent that I got in 2021. And these were the leftover pieces. Like I had quite a bit left over from several. And these were from Inner Yarns In, and she is a local to me dyer. I've got her label here. So Inner Yarns In is local to me. All of the wool that I'm putting in here is from her. So the pattern told us how many grams we needed, and I was short on that with the little pieces that were left from my Advent. So I filled it up with some other Inner Yarns In colors that I had laying around. And now I recall this progress here, I went through all of the colors one time. So this is all of the colors pulled into this project one time. I cycled through all of them one time. And so now my thought is, like, when I go and pair this yellow again, it won't be paired with the same gray that I paired it with the first time. And when I get to this blue, maybe I won't hold it with the same contrasting color. So the contrasting colors will vary throughout. So there you have it. I'm really excited to do some brioche now. All right, you guys, see you in a bit. Good morning. It is Sunday, February 18th. It is Sunday morning, and I rolled the dice on Friday, and I started working on my bluegrass shawl because I was so excited to do some brioche, which is kind of odd for me because I'm not super familiar with brioche. I think I've done 2 projects with brioche in them, and this particular project, the whole thing is brioche. The whole wrap is brioche, and there's increases and decreases, and I've never done those. So I was really excited to get started on it Friday night. And so I did row 1, and then I went to do row 2, and I'm like, why is this not matching up? And then I remembered you're doing the right side of your main color, and then you're doing the right side of your contrast color. And I completely forgot about that. So I had to take back a little bit because I had tried to figure out, I had started and restarted the row trying to figure out why the stitches weren't matching up. And So I got that going. And I was like, okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to call it a night Friday. And then Saturday morning I got up and I started going on it. And I mean, once you get going on a row, it's the repeat all the way through. And I was like, oh, I've got a rhythm. This is going so smoothly. And then I realized I should have done decreases on that particular row. So then I had to tink back a whole row of brioche decreases. So yes, I got a slow start. And then I went and I helped out a friend on Saturday, and I didn't get home till almost midnight. So I didn't get hardly any knitting done Saturday. So here it is Sunday morning. I'm so excited, and I don't regret not knitting yesterday. It felt amazing to be helpful to a friend. So that was excellent, but I haven't done any knitting. So when you look at this project, this is how far I've gotten since Friday night, having to knit and then take out and then do it again and take out for a different reason the next morning. So here we are. That is where I started. This is, and I have this one over here to help me mark the right side of the work. But here's where I started Friday night. This is how far I've gotten. This is the back side. So I think it looks pretty great. I'm enjoying it so much now that I know I'm doing both right sides and then both wrong sides. And I know that not all of the rows are the same. So, yep, there's my progress. That is where I was Friday night. I'm gonna knit today. I am helping a friend set up for a baby shower. She reached out to me and she's like, hey, I don't know if I'll need your help or not, but if you want to come and be there just in case I do. So I'm going to go help my friend set up a baby shower for her daughter. And I'm very excited to do that. And also today, so Alex, my 8-year-old, left with her dad. We do week on, week off, which is wonderful because we do family dinners together a couple of times each week. And it's working really well for Alex, our daughter. And so she went back to her dad Friday night at 6 o'clock, and he called to tell me that his employer is sending him out of town for work. So he called Friday and told me he'd be leaving sometime on Monday. And then he called me yesterday while I was helping my friend and said, oh, well, actually plans have changed. I'm leaving tomorrow. So we will also be getting Alex back today for the rest of this week. And then of course, next week is my week. So we'll have Alex, and I can usually get her going on a craft so then I can knit, and you know, she and I visit and we talk and we play games. And we've got some worksheets that we do. So we'll see how it goes, but I am excited to be doing the brioche, and I am going to wrap up this episode and get it edited. I have decided I will not be, so I had said that maybe I would weave in the ends to my couche-lig while I edit this video. I've changed my mind. The ends aren't going anywhere. So they'll be there when I pick it up again, and I'm gonna spend my time working on the bluegrass shawl while I edit this video. So I hope you guys are all doing great. I am going to be back Friday evening. I cannot imagine that I would get this wrap done before then. So I will be back on Friday evening to roll the dice, and maybe Saturday morning, because I rolled it really late on Friday night. So we'll see. I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you later. Bye.